looking good, feeling good, smelling good, eating good, drinking good, thinking good thoughts, having a good time, sharing good energy with good people in good places, doing good things. All right. So I did a lot of meditation on this um, instance of these cases. There's several different scenarios that I got information and downloads on. Some of them are involving children, so cases involving minors. Some of them are people just getting in trouble, and it's like the judge broke us up type of energy. Some also um, maybe an unbeknownst case, like a case that's coming towards you. For some reason, maybe the unbeknownst. There's two instances I see in there that may qualify. I don't know. Then there's like the case involving like business related things, like intellectual property or something like that, right? So, which is bad business, right? Okay. So, what I was told to make sure, or okay, here's the other one, a case you don't know about. It's like maybe there was some crime that someone tried to frame you for or tried to allude that you were involved in, that you may become a witness in somehow or something like that, or what is it called? I don't know, but there may be something, I don't know. um so it's what a first thing over here, of course, is tell the truth. um Anytime you're not sure, or when they start to mention like what the timeline looks like that you should be, or mention, you can check your social media, your old things that you used to post. Like you can go in there and create a highlight but pull it from previous years, right? And then you can be able to look at things to kind of remind you or jog your memory if they're, if some things you're like, well, where was I, in 2022 of, August or September, you know what I mean, kind of things. Because we don't, it's not like we're sitting around keeping track, right? We're just living our lives. That's the other part about it too. um, Tell the truth. Check your social media for any locations that you can reference your whereabouts, like for your own memory, right? Not necessarily for them, but that'll be helpful to them, I guess, if they need it. I don't know. The things that you remember, um, or if you're a creature of habit, like you go to work, you go to the gym, you get groceries, and etc. The regular routine kind of person. If you're a routine person, there's probably CCTV of you at your local, Target or this or that. You know what I mean? Just kind of, further clarifying. Um, Clarify whatever timeline they need if that's something they're asking you to do. And honesty is easy to track, is what I put down here. Honesty is very easy to track. It's not hard to remember what you were doing if you know good and well you wasn't doing nothing wrong. So it's going to be like, oh yeah, I was over here doing this. So that's the other part of it. You didn't commit any crime, and where you are be at, right? So that's the other part of it. Now, there's also a tarot card reader being included in this, in something, somehow. That's because whoever this tarot card reader is, they have a seat, a position within, like a job. They've also had like a really dark past in life and history, and it's caused them to really have an affinity for the knowledge of the dark arts. So this person often does spell work. They have like maybe even a whole extra space outside of their home, in the backyard somewhere, that they also do, their own workings in. Because this person has kind of, they had a rough childhood, they had a rough, teenage life, they had a rough, adulthood, and now in their, middle to upper adulthood years, they're, whoever this is, they're, still not making the right choices. And that's really what this is all about, right? Keeping yourself out of other people's drama, business, etc. And that's what this tarot card reader does. Basically, they used company resources to look up certain people. They have some type of access, like to records like LexisNexis. If you don't know what that is, it's a very informative piece of technology. It can tell you like the names of the people who's, like if you put in an address, it can tell you whose name the utilities are in. So LexisNexis may be something that this person has access to. I only know about it because my, previous experience and work caused me to find that LexisNexis for other companies doing skip tracing type information, but they've gotten heavier since then. That was like way back in the day, but they started, skip tracing as it exists. It can tell you all kinds of stuff. They can even go back on like records and tell you what was built on a property, like prior to it becoming a park. Was it a gas station? All that kind of stuff. So they keep a lot of records. But this person may have access to something like that, or something in security and technology. In some way, this person has access to company resources. I've been told to make sure I keep saying that because they're going to hear that too. That some way allows them to form some type of in-depth background search. Okay. They've communicated with at least one or more individuals involved in these illicit crimes. Okay. They do this so that they can do their readings and have info, or know who to project towards, or whatever it is, right? They get paid for that too, not just from their actual YouTube page. They also get paid from the other people to kind of maybe eschew readings as well, because of course if they're doing dark work and they're comfortable with it, they're like, well, it ain't my problem, ain't my business kind of energy. But it really is, because that's your business. You're in the business of doing things illicitly towards other people. I was going to look up what that meant, but because it says illicit crimes, which I'm assuming really means bad. Right? I don't know, right? We always assume we know everything, right? But let me get to that. So what is this word meaning? And then I'll get back to these notes really quick. Forbidden. So this person, again, that's why I keep being told to make sure I mention the part of used company resources. If this person works in HR, they're in trouble. If this person works in, cybersecurity, they're in trouble. Whatever it is, there's something that this person does, and they looked up individuals. This is the tarot card reader that we're talking about. So they've been in contact with at least one person. They use that, right? They may even be one of the people that does the dark work too sometimes. But there have been several other people that this person has looked up, right, using the company resources, and that person is only connected to this tarot card reader by way of their crimes. So the illicit crimes have names to people who are victims, right? And this tarot card reader has actually used their work resources to look up the victims, to try to just find whatever else they could find out, like relatives, so they could use their names in the readings, stuff like that. Now, so they would find out information to use against them, or use in the readings, to know what to eschew, what not to what to press that and poke at, etc. Now, them being able to use both sides of getting paid for the info, to do these things, like for the info, I guess, because they're pulling up information on people with their work resources. So getting paid for the information that they pull up using their work resources. They're also getting paid for the information that they're putting out in their tarot card readings, and by the people, in the illicit crimes. And they're also getting paid by YouTube, because that's where they're making their money, and their regular job. So this person is racking in 4 times on this, and they thought that this wasn't going to catch them up. I didn't even know about that. These are all, I'm getting downloads as I'm giving you downloads. That's nice. Okay, not only that, but there have been several other individuals that this person looked up using company resources that this person is connected to and has either done crimes with or against. So, interesting. The reader would use this information. So I guess maybe if they asked to do spell work on one of the people that they were, in cahoots with, to try to mask something else they might have been doing, this person would do work. So it's basically I want to have work done on my criminal friend and make them feel this way, that way, or the other. So here's what I want you to read on them. That's what this person was doing as well. So, or somebody was doing with this tarot card reader. So they get paid to include the individuals that they read as people that they read on. And then because they've done this over time for people in this, maybe they're just known. Maybe this reader is just somebody that different groups reached out to over the course of time, and they became known for that even too. I could imagine that, right? Somebody getting well known for oh yeah, you do readings on this, and this person, they have their list of their resources, right? Just like they have their list of attorneys and judges and, teachers and everything else that they can call on within their, wheelhouse, on their lists. They, within their organizations, they probably have, a reader or 2. I wouldn't be surprised. 2 or 3 is what I'm understanding here. Now, this person has a very dark past, and they use dark spell work often. This person purposely misreads energy to keep people stuck in a karmic loop. Okay. So they don't mind continuing to misread the information or make someone feel like they're in a karmic loop. That's how they get all of their stuff. They get paid to include the individual's info that they read on the most, because they've already been involved with so many other stories. So it's like they can make sure that whatever they're reading includes the old people and the new people, because they know the storyline pretty much of what these people are doing against these people that they're reading on. So every time, even if there's a new target, is what I'm being told to say, they can make sure that the reader targets the target, but also includes all the past people that they're reading on or for too. Hopefully this can be heard well enough. Let's see. This reader has been closed off from your energy though. They can only read the energy of the other people. That's why your energy is no longer in the readings. Okay. Yeah, there's something or someone looking out for you in a way that's maybe even haunting this reader now, that they're starting to get a little spooked. And if they catch a whiff of this reading and hear about that company resources, they're gonna know. But they don't, this reader does not think that anyone knows or that they wouldn't be included because they only do readings online. But this misuse of company resources and the fact that they receive money for this info as well as for the readings proves they're cahoots. So I connected the dots, la da 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 da. I sure hope they did, because I know whoever's watching these people did. That was another part of it too. There's a judge that, okay, I'll get into that story next, in the next one. Okay, so have little or no emotion when you're in court, right? And only focus on the facts of the circumstances in the situation. List out the wrongdoings of the other party and include the timeline or history in a repetitive behavior of the person. So if you're like in court over children, with minors, prove how they're, constantly getting drunk or constantly getting pulled over by the police, or, whatever it is that helps to prove your case. In the instance of if this is something related to business, prove how if the person has other business ventures that they, faltered on or messed up on, use that information. All true statements though. Remember, we can't do anything but the truth in a court of law because we don't want to get caught up in something on our own, right? So let's see. List out their wrongdoings, how a timeline and history for their behavior, show the judge the character of the person, right? And habitual, that their lifestyle, this is their lifestyle, right? That's what you want to help the judge to understand, this person's character and lifestyle, and how their lifestyle habits, like it could be very disastrous to any circumstance to show up drunk, right? So if this person has been known to get drunk or has some DUIs, use it, say, we wouldn't want this representing the brand and blah, 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 blah. Just be very careful of pointing a finger where one could be pointed back at you too. So that's the only thing I see there if you have a DUI. But if it's long, in the past when you were like 23, and now you're 36 or something, then, not to be concerned about. Only respond to the judge or the attorney. Do not respond to the other party. Okay. They're insignificant because you're not there to deal with them. You're there to deal with the case, and that's being set before the judge. You understand? The judge broke us up. If that's for somebody here. Okay, only respond to the judge. It's okay to pause and take a deep breath because you are in fact thinking back. You're recalling information. So it's okay to take a breath and think back. Don't be worried about the time lapse or anything like that in the court. And also don't be afraid to show their lack of involvement. If someone's in court about business affairs, show their lack of involvement. Show where you've been doing X, Y, Z, and you did this, this, and this, and show their lack of involvement and your involvement, because sometimes your involvement paints a bigger picture of like what it all took versus you only narrating the circumstance based on this one thing. Let's see. So highlight their lack of involvement, highlight your involvement, the benefits of your involvement, and the downsides of their lack of involvement, or even their involvement in some instances. If somebody comes showing up to a meeting drunk or is always late, things always make a presence when you make it known about this person's presence, is what I'm understanding. How they show up, because the court doesn't know anything other than what's presented in front of them, right? Okay, explain how any lifestyle habits may contribute to the other person's incapabilities to know about the ins and outs of a specific crucial part of the business. Or like this person, if you're in child custody court, this person doesn't even know, about, the parent teacher meetings. They never attend them. They've never, whatever lack of involvement. Again, if this person has a history of failed businesses, bring those up. I already said that. If the person has other children that they've been neglecting, bring that up. If they have a drinking problem or haven't been consistent in their communications with children or about the business needs and things like that, then bring that up. Drinking and drug habits can impair their ability to rear a child as well as run a business. Show all instances of negligence, ignorance, incompetence, and how it relates to the business's or child's living environment. I hope that this is not running choppy because typically my lives are quite a bit choppy. The wind is blowing, but I'm hoping that this is not one of those because I feel like this is a good, important message for people. Okay. Anything truthful that pertains to the credibility of this person being dishonest. So anything truthful that relates to the credibility that this person is not a good person, their previous suspected involvement in crimes or criminal behavior, that you can show like, oh yeah, this person was involved in this, in some way, right? You should be in a mental state of having nothing for this person. Okay, you have absolutely nothing for this person. No animosity, no regret, nothing. You just want to set the record straight and receive what's yours, be it clearing your name, winning custody, getting, 75% of whatever XYZ money, whatever it is. Anything truthful. Okay, I read that. Okay, prove it if needed that you have already cut your losses regarding them, right? Like they're non-factor. What I'm doing now is not banking on them because they've been out of the game a long time ago, right? That's why we're in this court, because they either want something from me or they need to give me back something of mine or they've wronged me in some way. So anyway, prove if needed that you've already cut your losses. There's no back and forth. I will see you in court. So if you haven't cut those communications off with this person too, you do need to leave it at I'll see you in court, because any type of back and forth about the circumstances and situations seems needless if you're going to, bring it before a judge. There's just this person trying to drag you into emotional battles that you don't need to be in because it's already enough to have to go to court, right? Anyway, you should be in a mental state of having nothing for this person. So nothing. You've cut your losses. You established a new foundation, right? Which may be what they're trying to go after now, right? And you're not required to make someone else whole who has not contributed to the work. You're not required to make someone else whole who has not contributed to the work. They may believe that they can invoke anger and hostility in you so that you lose your temper with them because they know all the things that they've done wrong. Right? So they're like, oh, maybe I can bring this up or try to twist the narrative on this and in front of the judge and make them look bad because they're getting mad because I'm lying. They like to lie, don't they? Usually these people do, right? So don't forget that. So they know all too well that they're, all their bad wrongdoings. And so they have enough ammo to try to piss you off by saying, well, do you remember this time? And it might be like, highlighting something that you did towards them, but it was really in response or reaction or because of them kind of thing. I don't know. You're not required to make someone else whole who has not contributed to the work. Right? Let them forever keep that illusion by you not giving into their wickedness. So let them forever keep to the illusion that they can make you angry because they're just going to make more instances for you to have a moment of, well, as a matter of fact, prior to what you're talking about, XYZ had happened, right? Okay. So, or you're just going to like breathe and let it go. Because sometimes responding to ignorance is better. I mean, not responding to ignorance. So just ignoring what they said, if it's something that you can even tell is going to take you in this karmic cycle of like arguing or being in a back and forth with someone. Sometimes people bring stuff up to show you're argumentative, right? Which everyone has an argumentative side. This is how we're using it to the best of our, powers. All right. So don't let them invoke any anger or hostility in you so that you lose your temper with them. Again, don't respond to them. You're not talking to them. So anything they say, unless the judge asks you that question again for them, unless the judge repeats what they say in questioning you, there's nothing you need to respond to coming from them. Right? Let's see. This is the last part. So let them forever keep the illusion that they can get you angry, because that's all they need to have is the illusion that they can get under your skin. Don't ever let it burden you. They want you to bear the burden of feeling bad for what they have done. And by not caring, you are indeed showing them that you don't give up about them. Okay? They want you to bear the burden of feeling bad for what they've done. And by you not caring, you are indeed showing them that you don't care about them. It's okay to feel anger. It's not okay to be angry. And those are instances, right? Woosah. Right? So that's all I have. Oh, wait, no, there's another. Let me hold the phone. Okay. There's also this info about so this is in regards to maybe some case that you don't know about. If you feel as though somebody has stolen some inheritance or has something going on behind your back in that realm, so what's catching these individuals up involved in this inheritance stealing, if that relates to you, what's catching them up at this point is that they gave two different sets of information. When you were younger, they falsified medical records using a diagnosis that your mother or your father has, okay? Or someone close in the family has, but they just switched the paperwork up back then and put your name, right? Now, in the second set of paperwork, so there was something that was coming to you or was, said to be coming to you or something like that that they knew about or that you had received that they spudged up some paperwork for when you were younger. I'm giving the years of between 2001 to 2011, okay? The second set of paperwork came about somewhere but after 2001, okay? In this instance, they needed to exclude you from somebody else's will, right? But when they questioned that, like, why would we exclude them? They're in it, even if they're in somebody else's care, right? Because the first family said that you had some type of medical diagnosis and they needed to take care of your money. The second set of paperwork, it was like, oh, we can leave them out because they're over here. And they're like, no, we're not leaving them out. We're going to give it to them. Now, that's where they made the second mistake, right? The first mistake was doing this in the first place. The second one was piggybacking on that. Now, they needed to exclude you, but when they were questioned, they alleged that you were not in the care of the previous people, but then in care of whatever family members, whatever line of family this new money was coming from. So they promised the previous family member money to get access to the money from this second will. Like, okay, give me what you have so that I can use that and show. And then maybe they wrote something over, or I don't know. Maybe they didn't need to just by giving the paperwork. Now, more recently, they just got greedy is what it sounds like. They wanted to access more of the money because maybe there's only a certain amount, or maybe it's like dished out something, I don't know. So they made a fake marriage where they stated that you were either incapacitated, strung out somewhere in a different state, or something like that. This case in particular involved a second judge because it's I don't know, either the other judge retired, or this is because it involves property, it went to somebody else or something like that. Or maybe there was even another, inheritance or something that came about. Another family member passed and left something to you. I don't know, but this is a second judge, okay? That judge, this new judge, hired an investigator. That can happen. Google it. Okay, this judge hired an investigator, and this was because this was previously in front of a different judge. This judge was in the state where the property is and the fake marriage license, as well as some bank accounts or something like that to set up and appear like it was you. I did a previous reading about your sister has an ID or has, pretended to be or something like that. And I'm guessing that they knew they needed to do something when they started getting questioned about your whereabouts by this new judge, because they said that you were well enough to get married, right? That you were competent enough to get married and be living in your own home, right? So they needed you to disappear because it was like, okay, we want to get this money for this house or something like that, or sell the house or something, but they needed you, right? They can't furnish you. So they're like, oh, okay, well, we'll piggyback on this. And they're like, okay, well, the judge is asking for something. He already has some type of investigation going into this already. Maybe even, I don't know. I can't say. So they started getting questioned more about your whereabouts by the judge because they said that you were well enough to get married and to be living in your home, etc. So then they needed you to disappear at this point because they don't want you to come into court, right? Maybe the sister didn't want to go that far with pretending to be you or something like that. I don't know. So now they need you to disappear. But that's when they got really messy about everything, is what I'm seeing here. Too many ways to skin a cat. So it's like they kept getting more and more people involved and more people involved and more people involved, right? They also made the mistake of trying to put you in too many places at once. So they feel like, oh, okay, well, if we can get this person caught up in jail, so it may be like a combination of these two things kind of working simultaneously. I don't know. where it's like, okay, we could try to incriminate them in our drug case, and then they won't get their money, kind of energy or something. I don't know, but that's when it got too messy. It looks like. So there was too many ways to skin a cat. They put you in too many places at one time. You already have where you really been, right? And the documents that they provided to the courts previously shows where they said you are and where they said you've been, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Like they've already outlined for the court where you are, where you've been, what you've been doing, blah, 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 blah. They could not furnish medical records. Yep. They couldn't verify ongoing medical treatment that would, and that's also a reason why the judge was like, have this person appear. Because if they've been off their medication and you knew about it, then you knew you should have already mentioned this. So there's all these different things that's making them look bad or made them look bad in the court that caused this judge to put in an investigation that's now, I guess, closing out, because they're still not able to appear or find anything that they're trying to say. They're just doing whatever they're doing in the background. They're not trying to come for you, I guess. But that's when they decided to try and collect it all through your insurance. Oh gosh, these people. Okay, so then they decided to collect it all through your insurance. So like, oh, okay, if this person is gone, then we can just collect it through your insurance. The policies are old enough so that they would automatically pay out, if not a minimum, clear them of their wrongdoing. So they feel like in one way or another, if at least they stop getting looked at by this judge, okay, or if they can collect it somehow, right? But this judge is already involved in this. This judge already got stuff written in his notes. This judge's clerk know, whoever sits next to him. This judge probably done told, his wife in confidence, of course, the investigator knows. The investigator probably has extra people that works with them, because they're paid on the court's dime because there's too many missing pieces or something like that. But anyway, this maybe started back between the years of 2001 and 2011. And maybe there's something more recently that has triggered this newer judge. Yeah. Because they thought, I'm guessing, like, if there's a third inheritance that was left to you or something like that, they were trying to throw it all in there. They were just like, oh yeah. And because, they were already in front of this judge for whatever it was regarding changing up something on you, they said, oh, okay, can we include this because we found out from another family member that someone else passed and left this person something. The judge is wondering, like, why is everybody leaving this person something? They know this person's status. The judge is really confused. So yeah, but I don't think they are anymore, but the judge was. But that investigator been on it. Now the policies were old enough that they automatically pay out to them, if not a minimum, clear them of their wrongdoing. So that's what they were doing this for. So I think I might pull a few cards on this just for a second, just for a little bit. Maybe even find out what's going on with these people. Let me get another set of cards. Just a little bit. Whew. Yeah, somebody's running from something. Ooh, did I move this? Oh no, it's just sitting there. Somebody's running from something. All right, let's see if there's anything to know. I think what we're going to, I don't know. I'll tell you what, see what I see. Anything else on this legal situation or any other details that this person may need to know? These people have always been in criminal activity, and now it's just played out. That's what's happening. Because look at this timeline. If this has been going on since 2001, we're in 20 what right now? And these people have been doing this? Yeah, their run is over. I don't know how else to do. I don't know what else to say. I don't know. Okay, let's use a different deck because I'm about to get off of this. I'm about to get off of this reading. This was good. I was just reading my notes and more stuff was coming in. Channeling that bad boy. I like it. I like to mix stuff up too and not just do everything the same. There may be somebody who's a truck driver who was involved in this or who may be squilling on people. I heard squilling because this person may be a little chunky monkey, fatty. Yeah. Sitting around driving all the time. Yeah. Maybe this person is feeling like, well, I knew we couldn't do this. Like maybe they're realizing like, I knew this person, whoever this captain, like this person that was leading the charge of like, oh, we can do this and we can get them caught up with this. We can get them caught up in this way. Again, that messy, whenever they got the messy individuals involved, not that it wasn't already messy, but I'm just saying, that's the type of person that's doing that same stuff. That's the person who's got them involved in this whole RICO energy is what I'm feeling. If that's one of these cases. Ooh, I told you that employee, that tarot card reader, using those things, using the company resources. Don't be, yeah, that was a gamble this person shouldn't have taken. I tried to tell them. Don't get it twisted. The collective might have looked up somebody at one of the jobs, but they stopped. They was like, no, I don't want to end it this way. But this person felt like it was never going to end because these people had no direct connection to her until the other people started getting investigated for these crimes. Dingle dorks. Yes, family is involved. Someone's asking that. Yes, I'm see what else is in here and we'll go from there. Maybe someone in your family who's a civil servant or has some type of ties or in the law enforcement or something like that. Maybe they also help to kind of architect like other ways or like, this is how you make it look right. This is how you make it look right so that when the police investigate, they see this, and this. This is where you got to go. Whoever the sister is, yeah, coaching the sister, this is where you got to go so that, so it can be on the record and they'll just look up the record. They're not thinking that the person would get the CCTV from the court on that day when they went down there to go do and fill out whatever paper with your name and just sign it like they was you. They figured they'd just be a stranger in all of this too. I feel like that's a family member, maybe a sister. I don't know. There's some energy of a sister. Okay. Oh yeah, that was in that the notes too, right? The sister that has the ID. They're hoping you fall for like the wrong person. They're hoping they can send somebody towards you that's going to get you caught up, but you already know who your person is. They need to bounce from that idea. Yep. Yeah, they're in this murky situation. They got everything is so messed up. Like they're all mixed in it so much. There's no way they can get themselves out. They did too much. Like it's coming in right under the architect sign card. So it's like they put together too much. It got too messy. Like I said, there's a million ways to skin a cat, right? So they kept trying. They didn't stop to think like, why can't we nobody can catch this cat? Because number one, if the cat ain't did nothing, this cat right here ain't did nothing. So, I don't know what that was, but pinky finger. Anyway, nail. I know I need to get my nails done, but that's not what this is about. Ooh, yeah, they built whoever this person is, that's in the police something academy, I don't know. Whoever this is definitely was like they put the nail in the coffin by even trying to like try to get somebody to cover something up is what I'm understanding. Like flawed situation is what it says. Tower moment, nail in the coffin, a communication. So maybe they already got a communication, whoever this civil servant is. Maybe they got served with some paperwork or being told to leave their job, or maybe this tarot card reader just lost their job. They thought maybe it was just like a time changing of what, the company needed them to work a different shift or something like that. But what it turns out is they actually were priming up to make sure they had someone capable in that position before they let this other person go. Yeah. Yeah, so someone's being coached right now to see if like you might be itching to have like to meet up with an old friend or something like that, to see if they can get you to talk about what you're doing, where you're going, all the rest of this. Thinking that they're, a ride or die, they're, going to be around, they're loyal for old buddy, old pal, to see where you're at, where's your money at, what you're doing financially, if you're happy or sad, if you're cool with everything that you've experienced in life or not. So that may be some energy that they are sending out towards you. There's one more card. Which deck is this? Oh, from this one. Okay. One more under this legal issue. Somebody gambled. That's how they get themselves caught up. Gambling with legal issues is always a bad business. A bad business. A bad business. Yep. Stranger, legal issues, gambler. Coming in after this itchy situation. Yep. Basically, this is just letting me know, like, hey, here's the tea. Here's the conversation, conversing with friends, holding up a cup of love, celebrating. So you're going to be celebrating with your friends, since we asked what was going to happen when all this is, what's the end result. You've been a hardworking person. You fertilized a lot of things to come into fruition for you. You have sustained yourself. Like, you've shown and proven, and anything else is going to be shown and proven as well. It's going to be a sweet situation for you because you've grown from these instances. You're a provider, you're fearless, or you had no involvement. They were just kind of seeking, something in that instance. It was never involving you. And then you'll be respected, as you should be. Let this be the knowledge and information that you need regarding this situation. Something to focus on before and after, or before and during the court hearing, or, because that's always the moment that we need something to help us identify with what it is that we need to be focused on, other than the truth, right? We already established that. Taking your time to breathe and grow. Nice. Okay. Conscious entity. Those whose minds are enchanted by sense enjoyment and material opulence never find the resolute determination to practice the spiritual life. So what I'm understanding this to say is those who are in this energy of the people that are doing these crimes and illicit things, they'll never be in the right energy to practice the spiritual life, right? And that's why they're being met with, the results, because this isn't karma, this isn't fate, this isn't destiny, this isn't this isn't that, it's not right, it's not wrong. Consequences. They always knew that there were these types of consequences for what they were doing, though. Anyway, the seed of creation. All right. I am the original fragrance of the earth. You're a good person, good, honest, true person. Okay. I am the original fragrance of the earth. I am the heat and fire and the life in all living things. I am the aesthetics inner spiritual fire. Know me to be the seed of all creation, original and eternal. I am the intelligence of the intelligent and the effulgence of all great and powerful persons. You got this. That's what I'm getting from this. Like, if it's not a seed that you planted in your life for yourself, then you're not responsible for tending to it to grow. And that's just how it is. All right. I don't know what that's supposed to mean, but I hope it meant something to you too. I'll catch you in the next one. Later.